There are many ways to participate in the Illinois Shines program. As an approved vendor, a designee, an equity eligible contractor, or an equity eligible contractor subcontractor. Approved vendors are the entities approved by the program administrator to submit project applications to the program and act as the counterparty to the REC contracts with utilities. There are many different types of entities that can register as an approved vendor, including SREC brokers and aggregators, for-profit project developers, installers, municipalities, nonprofits, public schools, single project entities for community solar systems, and so on. There are several key AV responsibilities in the program. Firstly, they are the contractual counterparty with the utility, and they receive payments from the utility for REC deliveries. Therefore, approved vendors are responsible for submitting projects and paperwork to the program administrator, maintaining collateral requirements, and providing ongoing information and reporting. Approved vendors are also required to renew their status annually and are responsible for ensuring that their designees register in the program and follow all program requirements. Any failure by an approved vendor to follow program requirements could result in disciplinary action, which can ultimately lead them to losing the ability to participate in the program. There are several ongoing requirements for approved vendors. These on the left here are ongoing program requirements that must be met regardless of whether the approved vendor has an active REC contract or not. So this includes the biannual report, annual report, approved vendor renewal, designee management plan. This is only required for approved vendors that have designee registered under their account. MES compliance plan, MES compliance mid-year report, and the MES compliance end-of-year report. I want to note here that the MES reporting is not required for a given program year if an AV doesn't intend to submit projects to the program or perform construction on any previously Part 1 approved projects, conduct any sales or marketing activity for projects that have been or will be submitted to the program, or maintain a project on a wait list for that program. These forms will need to be submitted, but they will not be completed the standard way. On the right here are ongoing REC contract specific program requirements that must be met, including the community solar subscriber verification. This is for community solar projects and project inspections. So approved vendors often work with designees to manage various portions of solar system development. So designees are any third-party entity, so non-approved vendors, that have direct interaction with the end-use customer on behalf of an approved vendor or another designee. There are 5 different types of designees currently. Disclosure form designees are permitted to generate disclosure forms on behalf of an approved vendor. Community solar subscriber agent designees manage the community solar subscription information for an approved vendor's community solar project. Marketing or sales designees. So these are any marketing sales agent, customer acquisition agents that work on behalf of an approved vendor or another designee. Installer designees install systems on behalf of an approved vendor or designee, and maintenance and repair designees. So these are any entities that perform routine maintenance, monitoring, and or repair to a system after solar installation. So designees of designees are called nested designees, and they may only hold marketing sales, installer, and or maintenance and repair designee roles. The approved vendor is only able to add disclosure form designees and community solar subscriber agent designees directly under their approved vendor account. So this requirement exists to prevent any designee from giving another designee the ability to create disclosure forms or manage community solar subscribers on behalf of the parent designee's approved vendor. And if a designee does business under multiple names, that designee will have to register a separate designee account for each name it does business. Upon registration, designees are required to, one, acknowledge their business relationship with their AV or designee. Two, provide company ownership and affiliation information. Three, identify the categories of the consumer-facing services provider. So this includes what type of designee they will be. And four, submit an annual MES compliance plan. The exception here is if the designee is registering as an equity eligible contractor, they will not be required to submit an MES compliance plan upon registration. Ongoing program requirements for designees, much less than the approved vendor, since the approved vendor has contractual requirements in the program. Designees must renew their status every year. They must submit an MES compliance plan, mid-year report, and end-of-year report. Equity eligible contractors. So an equity eligible contractor can be an approved vendor or a designee or an EEC subcontractor. And it's defined as an entity that is majority owned, so 50% or more, by an equity eligible person. And on the right here, we can see the 4 qualifying criteria for becoming an equity eligible person. Firstly, an individual who graduated from a FEJA or CEJA funded training program. Persons who are graduates of or currently enrolled in the foster care system. Persons who were formerly incarcerated, and persons whose primary residence is in an equity investment eligible community. So to qualify as an equity eligible person, you only need to qualify under one of these criteria. And if you are 50% owner of more of your company, you can register to become an equity eligible contractor. So I want to note here that if the approved vendor is organized as a corporation, general partnership, limited liability partnership, limited liability company, or limited partnership, the applicant will be asked to designate which owners, partners, or proprietors meet the EEC eligibility criteria. And if they're organized as a nonprofit, which board members meet this EEC eligibility criteria. So ongoing program requirements for designees. In addition to becoming an approved vendor or designee, the EEC must also renew their EEC designation annually and submit an MES year-end report.